Mm-hmm.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kinetic Impressions. I'm Arnie.
I'm Andy.
And today we'll be talking some movie news for you. First up, we're going to talk about the massive buttload of announcement that came from Disney's investor call that happened about a week and a half ago. Man, it's just there's so much content, it's ridiculous. It's like I actually was listening to pundits about the movie news stuff, and like a lot of them were just like, "Oh my god, it's too much! It's too much! Stop! I'm too excited! Oh my god!" And then we're gonna switch gears a little bit of horror news. The possibility of a Exorcist remake is on the horizon from Blumhouse, which, of course, they're like the only people they're the only game in town when it comes to horror movies. So let's start off with the Disney news. So there is literally just a metric F ton of things that they announced. It's difficult to talk about all of them in a timely manner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a graphic of basically just the Marvel and the Star Wars stuff that they announced. And I just kind of want to just go through a couple of them, the things that I think that Drew and I think are really interesting. So let me cue that up for right now, and then we will talk about that stuff. I mean, I think what's interesting here is like we did talk about the fact that the streaming wars have begun, right? Yeah. This is 100%, symptom of that. Disney made a huge investment to a lot of things, right? They bought Fox last year. They bought Marvel a couple years ago. And of course, they've got their own library of stuff that they've been, working on forever. This is the first time they have been like, you know what? Our streaming service is doing all right. We're gonna put the pedal to the metal and actually put our money where our mouth is, and we are going to put all kinds of money into that content. I think I put the Star Wars up first. Where it's already up. Let's talk about that. So, personally, I really am interested in Rogue Squadron. Now, just a little bit of backstory on Rogue Squadron. It will be directed by Patty Jenkins of Wonder Woman 1984. Drew, what'd you think about Wonder Woman? I enjoyed it.
Oh, dude, we were chatting before this, and it was like you said, I mean, with all these rave reviews of 1984, you just got me a little bit more hyped to watch it. I love the first one. I told you earlier that I think the Wonder Woman, when Wonder Woman came out and when Black Panther came out, I know different companies, but still, it was what America needed. I think it was just a good, fun-loving hero, and it had a lot of naive and heart. Just good old heart in a movie again.
Yeah.
And that's what I really missed. I think everybody did a phenomenal job on those two movies. I think we kind of got the Wonder Woman herself got a little blemished with the release of we'll just say some spin-off movies after that. But it doesn't mean, I'm just going to say, just to get us back on track, it doesn't. Patty Jenkins did a phenomenal job.
100%, man. 100%. Wonder Woman was it was the first DC movie that everyone really universally enjoyed. Before Wonder Woman, the DC Extended Universe EU was really not doing really well. I mean, they had the biggest names in the movie, and I don't know what was wrong with those movies. They just weren't. Honestly, they just didn't feel fully fleshed out.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
And I mean, Warner Brothers just cut her a $10 million stimulus check, so that's nice. But
yeah.
I mean, that might be nice. But yeah, no, I get what you mean. I just watched a video. If I can remember whose video it was, I'm definitely going to post the link on it on this video. But it was comparing Justice League to Avengers and all the similarities, and then just how both of them could be totally different for what they were the year that they came out. How one could literally domino and miss every single step, where the other one just went in stride. And they want, most of it is character development, and I think we got good character development on having a Wonder Woman origin story. And I think we all know who Batman is, but it's not what makes it. So I think if Patty Jenkins hadn't set the groundwork, I think Justice League could have even been worse than what it was.
I think I want to say that Justice League. I mean, well, Justice League was before Wonder Woman, right? Right? Yeah, it was. It was before Wonder Woman. Because Zack Snyder casted Gal Gadot.
I thought Batman vs Superman was before.
No, I'm pretty sure Justice League, which was the introduction of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, was before Wonder Woman. So they had like, I guess what you would say is kind of train wrecks before Wonder Woman. Like, you know how bad it was? They're literally remaking the Justice League movie right now as an HBO Max limited series.
Yeah, it's gonna be 3 parts.
They're giving them like $10 million for reshoots and redoing of it, reimagining. It was bad. It was bad. Wonder Woman was, I believe, a really self-contained, nice little story that really kind of pushed the mythos of the character into a new age. It introduced
Batman versus Superman was 2016. Zack Snyder did cast Gal Gadot.
Yeah,
absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman happened, and then we had Justice League, right?
Yeah. I think Justice League was before Wonder Woman. I'm saying. I think it was.
No, it was after. I'm just letting you know.
Was it? You're right. Yeah, you're right.
He casted her for Batman versus Superman, and then Wonder Woman was in 2017, and then later on in 2017, Justice League happened.
Absolutely. The way that whole movie was constructed on a directing standpoint was fantastic. No Man's Land is still a scene that people still talk about, which was like the biggest superhero moment that Wonder Woman really had in that movie. It was beautifully shot. It felt visceral. It was a World War II movie with a superhero in the middle of it.
It didn't rip totally off of Captain America, and I felt a lot of heart in it. Like her character is totally like just out on display during that scene, and I think that's so interesting. Like, you see more of her vulnerability than you see her like toughness in that, and I love that. I love that they're exposing that and that really plays with her character. It was great.
Yeah, it's totally 100%. I just think Patty Jenkins, she just knows character. And she knows story structure. That movie in and of itself was just it was just perfectly well done in every aspect. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It was great. And people universally liked it. So I understand why they want to give Patty Jenkins a straight up fighter pilot army movie. I told you before we started, she actually released this video on her Twitter. Which was her, like, the camera pans in and it's literally her like in a parking lot somewhere, just like hanging out with their car, and then she's like is picking something out of there, and then she like just turns around and looks at the camera. Oh, you know what? She's actually skating. She's actually rollerblading on some like large concrete thing, and she rolls up to a car, opens up the back trunk, sits down as she's taking off her rollerblades, and just looks in the camera and like gives us this like long story about how like she really loved her father. Her father was a fighter pilot in the Air Force, and like she just like really wanted to tell his story one day, and she just didn't really know how to tell that story. And then like she like grabs a fucking Rogue Squadron helmet, puts it on, and just starts walking into the sunset towards fighter jets.
Yeah, I just watched, like, I was just looking at clips of it, and it's like it's totally badass, that ending.
Yeah, so, that makes me so like the fact that she's like, on top of the fact that like she knows what she's doing. This is a story she's wanted to tell, right? Yeah. And that just gives it its own little like leeway into this movie's gonna be about something more to her, but it's also a Star Wars movie set in space. Like I'm looking forward to a space opera fighter jet movie, like better than Top Gun, just a visceral fun time that has I guessing some heart, man. Like I feel like this is just going to be a really good war film. And I'm super, super, super stoked about it. 100%. All the way around.
I'm kind of excited for this Obi-Wan Kenobi. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for Ewan McGregor to come back
100%.
and to be the Jedi Master. Well, first, Arnie, there's just so much to be excited about.
Dude,
like,
there's a lot. There's a lot.
There's a lot to be excited about. I don't even know what we could how much we could speak about this, but I don't know why, but the inner child in me just really wants to see Hayden Christensen come back as Darth Vader.
It's true. He's coming back.
Obi-Wan Kenobi back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'd love to see this. I'd love to see them. I think we're going to be talking a couple more for a couple more minutes about people getting second chances at roles this year. So I think this is one of them that I'm going to keep an eye on because I really want to see that. It's been what, 10 years?
Dude, there's been rumors about a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie for over a decade.
Right. Yeah.
Ever since the prequels came out and they were all done, Ewan McGregor is apparently actually even taking meetings for years about a movie. He's apparently it's been in development for a long, long time. But if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a series, right? So it's going to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah. It kind of worried me, now I'm looking at a lot of this, and Disney Plus is focused on the series. And, it kind of worries me when they're going to, stretch it out that long. Where I kind of I'd rather have a couple movies, but I'm thinking about what they've done recently and what they've done with Mandalorian kind of just, takes you, calms you down and says, okay, if it can be even half as good as Mandalorian, then, and with those characters, you're cashing in some money right there.
Yeah, man, I'm excited too. And the sheer creative prowess it's going to take to pull all this on, I feel like there's going to be a bad egg in the bunch somewhere. I feel like I trust. Don't get me wrong. I trust Disney for a lot because the one thing about Disney that's better than any other studio, and it's true across the board with everything they do, even their parks. They do understand that artists are what make everything work, and they have always put the artist in true charge. Sometimes that doesn't pay off well. Rian Johnson, but they gave Rian Johnson the keys to the city, and you can't say that movie was not a Rian Johnson film, right? And by Rian Johnson, I am talking about the second Force Awakens movie. That was his movie. It was a movie really birthed within him, and I could totally tell. But they do give artists that power and leeway, and I'm just really hopeful that they'll actually get this done. Is there anything about Obi-Wan the LCU I want to talk about? I'm excited to see Ewan McGregor back in the Star Wars universe.
I just really want to say it. One of the things I want to say before we wrap up is I'm really interested to I love how culturally diverse some of these names are that I'm seeing in this initial announcement.
For sure.
I see the crazy, the guy from Dear White People, Justin Simeon, he's getting to do Lando.
Yeah.
Lando. We know Lando's a great story. We're all excited about that. The guy who's coming back with Ron Howard's, we all remember Ron Howard's 1988 movie, Willow. Willow's going to be
coming back, dude.
Willow's coming back, and it's going to be by breakout director from Crazy Rich Asians, John Chu. And you got Diego Luna's getting to reprise his role
in Andor, right?
Andor. So just some of these are just some of the highlights. Like we both have said, it's a long list of movies, but to see that kind of diversity and to know
Ahsoka,
and exactly, yeah, and to know that Disney's behind it. So I'm just kind of I'm excited for that. That's all I want to say about that. But I mean, I'm really excited, and I can't wait to see some of these come to life.
Dude, I am just so excited for Rosario Dawson. Like,
Yeah.
she's just been sitting in the wings for like at least decades. She's done a couple things here and there, but like I haven't seen her
Luke
much in
Cage.
anything. But like
she's been sitting in Marvel Studios waiting to reprise her role as anything from Luke Cage. She's been sitting there as the nurse from Luke Cage. She was the best.
Dude, yeah, man. Oh, dude, I'm so excited for Rosario Dawson. I'm so happy she's back and doing something. I love that the fans really helped her get that role too. You know, there was like she's been campaigning to play Ahsoka for a long time, and like the internet wanted her to be it, and then Disney was like, "Yeah, whatever, go, let's come in, let's do it, let's go." And she killed it. No, she's gonna get her own series, dude. I'm excited for that. I'm excited. Like the streaming wars are gonna do a lot to exhibitors, but what it's not gonna do is gonna make make the treasure trove of work for actors go away. Like productions are happening, bro.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good. There's going to be a lot of good content coming, and Disney Plus already has. I mean, like we already saw this war begin when Disney Plus like took all their content away from Netflix, and when Warner Brothers took all their content away from Netflix, and now we have these 3 pillars, and no one's backing down right now. No one's backing down. They're all going at this head on, and I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think I don't know if you already mentioned this, but like I mean, Disney's going to spend 14 to 16 billion a year on streaming content by 2024 as it ramps up production. The streaming war is on. Yeah,
dude, they are on. All right, y'all. I think we did it. Let's go ahead and wrap it up for now. I kind of just want to do some honorable mentions here. A Droid story. It's going to be an animated story. That's going to be about R2-D2 and C-3PO going on their own adventure. We mentioned Willow, excited for that. The Lando series, going to be from the guy who made Dear White People. I'm interested in that and seeing where that goes. For the first time, you're going to have a true, like, you know, person of color, create a person of color TV show for the Star Wars universe. Totally excited for that. And then also the Bad Batch. This is interesting. So this is also a animated series. So like they call it as an experimental clone of the they're all experimental clones, and they're going to go out to kind of do their own like back in the seedy parts of the Star Wars universe type thing. I'm really excited about that too. So, you know, just a whole bunch of Star Wars news, man. All right, let's switch gears and talk about Marvel. So obviously Disney owns both Star Wars and Marvel, which means they own the entire universe now. It's Disney's world. We're just living in it, right? There's obviously a whole lot of things to talk about in this respect as well. But I think we should definitely just touch on a couple things that we like as well here too. Notably for myself, I am really, really, really interested in the What If series, right? So if you guys know anything about the What If series, this is a series of comic books that was actually Marvel comic books where they did crazy things like what if Pepper Potts became Iron Man? Yeah. You know, little things like that, or like what if like instead of Bruce Banner becoming the Hulk, it was actually one of his like lab partners, and it goes through like just different alternate worlds. One of the things that they're doing in that series that's really interesting to me is they're actually going to explore Marvel zombies. You ever heard of Marvel Zombies?
Yeah, I didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, they're exploring Marvel Zombies with that series, which is going to be super interesting. They actually did that as part of the event, and they showed like this like a clip of it, and it's Bucky Winter Soldier like catching a shield in the middle of a completely destroyed New York, and it's fucking zombie fucking Captain America coming to attack him. I was just like, oh my god, I'm so fucking excited for that, man.
That's nice. Yeah.
Totally excited for that. I'm also super, super stoked for Loki. Did you watch the trailer for that?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Dude, it's super good. So like it's totally like so what's that series that has Emma Stone and Superboy big guy Jonah Hill?
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Okay.
Greg, because it's a little trippy, it's a little mind trippy, you know, and it also it looks like he's in jail of some kind, in some kind of outworld dimension where it almost looks like he's being held captive by like some like ultra dimensional police force.
Did you watch Maniac with Jonah Hill?
I did watch all of it, but it
Okay.
it kind of feels like that. I know you told me to watch it.
It's crazy trippy. Yeah, no, we won't. But like, yeah, that feels like it's gonna be good then.
Dude, Owen Wilson's in it.
Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson, dude.
Okay.
You gotta watch the trailer for it. It's crazy, for sure. But yeah, that those are the two things that I'm super excited for, man. What are you excited for?
Well, like I'm gonna change it up. I wish this had come out sooner. I wish we could be all celebrating Christmas right now with this fucking Christmas special. Like this is
Yeah.
Like I can't believe we're gonna have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 be a Christmas special, or not Volume 3, but like
no, it's like completely just it's just
separate,
by itself.
but like we're gonna get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and we're gonna get a holiday special. And I think that's so much fun because like, half of the things that have been, or not half of the things, but I'll say a little less than half, have been the soundtracks that have come from these movies. The soundtracks have been amazing.
Yeah.
And we love seeing Chris Pratt just dance around and singing anyway. So like for it to bring Christmas time to it, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun.
I love how it's a play. It's totally a play on the Star Wars fucking holiday special.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Star Wars holiday special?
Yeah. And they just wanted to do a Marvel one too. I think it's good. They're creating content, man. They're creating as much content as possible. And you can't hate them for it. Like we needed content now, so that now they're just gonna keep just unloading it on us.
Absolutely, all the time, always, dude. Anything else you're excited for right here?
I mean, just like the Disney stuff, man. There's just such a long list. I did see one thing that I was kind of interested to talk to you about real quick. Is this that WandaVision? The Doctor Strange multiverse madness that we've been talking about with the third Spider-Man movie is also going to carry into the WandaVision show, or the WandaVision show is going to carry into the Sony Marvel Spider-Man thing.
Right. So
I think that's going to be super weird, don't you think?
We haven't seen it yet. Honestly, all of this sounds weird, right? If we're talking about just like the still corner of it, the multiverse of madness, the Spider-Man. You know what it probably is? Now that we're talking about it, I think Wanda breaks reality, which she has done before.
Right.
She has done that before in the comics. Like the House of M, if you've never heard of that, was a multi-issue, a series event that was held in the Marvel universe, and it was where Wanda was so completely devastated. I think that's
the title of it. It's called The Multiverse of Madness. So that's a project, right? And Doctor Strange, and both of those will tie into the upcoming WandaVision show and the Sony and Marvel's collaboration with Spider-Man. So I think, she might break reality.
I think she's going to, because she's done it before. 100%.
Last thing, Arnie, I gotta ask you, let's talk about this for just a brief second. How do you feel about Marvel finally taking the reins and being in control of this new Fantastic Four?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Can we do it right this time? I thought they weren't that bad. There was some good pieces from each of them that have come out.
You know what's crazy to me? It's crazy to me how the Tim Story Fantastic Fours have a higher Metacritic score than the weird one-off one that we had made from the guy who made I forgot the guy's name. Was it he did that weird found footage superhero movie? I think it was I forget the name of the movie, but I feel like the last Fantastic Four movie, which apparently was just trash.
But do you remember who was in that though? It was Miles Teller.
Yeah, Miles Teller.
Kate Mara and Creed himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he was already a superhero before he came and fought Black Panther. So he's 100%. I mean, I thought that was a great cast. But we do have a great, I think he's going to be a great director we have John Watts in control of this one.
Okay.
And so John Watts did Far From Home, right? Or
Yeah,
Home.
I was gonna say, isn't he the Spider-Man guy?
Yeah, he either did. I just can't remember if he did Far From Home. Oh, so he did both. He did Far From Home and Homecoming.
Yeah, he is the one currently directing Tom Holland. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So like, I think we can trust him. You know, I'm hoping we can trust him with this new creation. And now, like that Marvel's in control. I hope we can see a better version of this movie finally come to fruition, right?
Yeah, man. I think like what's funny if you're looking at like the guy who directed. Did you watch the last Ant-Man movie?
Yeah.
So the last Ant-Man movie was a Fantastic Four movie. In that, if you look at, because like the guy who directed that movie very much wants to make a Fantastic Four movie, and you could tell he made that second Ant-Man movie kind of close to that, because there's a lot of parallels, right? It's four of them. It's a family, right? It's to kind of a family, right?
Yeah.
Right. And like, I think the way that it worked in that movie was because you actually got to the emotional core of those characters, and that lent itself to like the problems of the ethos of all those characters. Cause like the main protagonist, well, one of them, she was trying to deal with her powers and she didn't know how to deal with them until she met up with the Ant-Man people. Right. And they helped her through that.
It goes back to kind of what we were just talking about in that Wonder Woman segment, which was just like Marvel cares more about building these characters in a very gradual sense with every movie they do. And I think that's just what they're doing. Not than anybody else. I'm just like, they're just making that a priority.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes better movies right now.
For sure. I mean, I think like also they're the ones who kind of figured out the universe thing, because everyone after Marvel did it was just trying to create new universes and all that. Yeah. And I think the biggest principle that I've at least learned as being a person, just as a consumer, realizing that like today's audiences, because of like a lot of it because of Marvel, but really because of the comic book, industry in general and serialized television, we are really into having a life with these characters. Right. And if you really connect them in the right ways, we will follow them throughout all these movies, throughout all these stories. As long as each individual story is nicely self-contained and then just has a little bit sprinkled in there that connects it to the overall arching story of the whole universe, really, really, really is something that moviegoers, audience people really want and really want to. I think today's audiences want to connect more with these genre type characters than people had in the past. Like I think before Marvel, it was really all about the popcorn actiony stuff that really always played. And the reason everyone loves Steven Spielberg is because he delivered popcorn actiony stuff, but he also gave you a lot of really good character development and a lot of really good ethos and a lot of really good sentimentality. He's known as a sentimentality king, right? Because he brings sentimentality to all of his action movies. And like Kevin Feige, I'm giving Kevin Feige all the credit for this because he's the one who's basically running the entire show when it comes to basically creative in Marvel now. But he's the one that created that Marvel universe into what it really is. He instilled that in all of those movies. It is, maybe not all those movies. There's definitely some duds in there for sure. But the overarching story of the Marvel universe, the movie Marvel universe, it doesn't feel convoluted because we connected with all those characters in a really small way in each of the movies, and it just the stories lent themselves to small connections to the overarching story, but it doesn't feel convoluted and like a real like confusing thing because each one of those movies were self-contained in a real way, but they also did have those small connections to all the movies. And like
right, and you feel what every character's feeling through each movie too. I mean, like I said, I was watching something where we were just talking about Captain America, and I was just like, Captain America, his feelings don't change from movie to movie. He has his same core beliefs, and you see what he's going through. You've already established those core beliefs. You see what he's going through, and you see the challenges he's faced with. And you as as a audience member experience that through the conduit of his character, you get to feel more connected with that person because I feel like you've bonded with him from another movie, and maybe now you can get to it. You can get through it with him, is what I wanted to say.
100%. Before we leave Marvel real quick, I do want to give shout out to this. They're doing a She-Hulk series with Tatiana Maslany, and I have wanted to see her do something like this for fucking forever. She's amazing on the last 2 shows that I saw her on. She played this one she was on this one show where she played multiple characters of the same person. Fantastic. And people were saying she was snubbed from getting a Golden Globe like several times a year. So she's doing She-Hulk, totally 100% down with that. And Winter Soldier and the Falcon. Those 2 things are 100% also something I'm interested in.
Hey, Artie, I also want to say, just because you were speaking about that Tatiana thing earlier, that Orphan Black show was great, where she played multiple personalities.
100%.
I really love that. And, she did, what's that, like the HBO series that she did? She's been like great in that. It's like, it was that really weird one where she plays that religious person, and she kind of like gets taken over by like God and stuff like that. I mean, she's done a couple things now where she's been snubbed a lot of times.
100%. Yeah. Like, she's an incredible actress. Probably one of the best actresses that I've seen in a long time. Just she just embodies everything she does. And she's definitely been snubbed to a lot of things.